Hello and welcome everybody to week 10, the final week of the Smite World Championships qualifiers. I am DM Brandon and today I'll be joined by Hinduman. Hello Hinduman.
Hello, Mr. DM Brandon. How are you, sir?
Like, average.
Average? Not below
Uh-huh.
average? What's your perfect Saturday? That's the
um
question.
Perfect Saturday. I think today is going to be one of them. I've been so
Oh,
excited for this tournament since last week. I got to tell you. I mean, for those of you at home who don't know, and we got to talk about the drama here.
we do.
Cognitive Red and Five Angry Men are scheduled to fight in the quarterfinals today. If Cognitive Red wins this match, we will have our fourth seed guaranteed. If Five Angry Men are able to defeat them and then win one more set after that, either being semis or losers finals, they will guarantee their spot in both the LAN and, of course, the Smite Pro League. But to do that, they have to get through their bracket today. We're going to be focusing a lot on those two teams today, but we're going to start off the day with Digisurge versus a Mighty Storm.
Yeah, Mighty Storm, one of those teams that we've seen quite a lot over the months, DM Brandon, and they've performed pretty well, honestly. Consistently at least making it around to the round of 16, but then sometimes having troubles coming up against some of the top teams as well. So Mighty Storm still consistently playing though, DM, and when you look at what's going to be coming up ahead for them with the Challengers Cup, it's a good opportunity for them to really step the game up and possibly pick themselves up some prize money from doing so.
So now we're getting into the game here. We're getting the bands out, and we're starting out with Aphrodite. Now, this is a character that, of course, I feel is a little overestimated in the current meta, but she still has a lot of good matchups.
Does still have quite a lot of good matchups overall.
What happened there?
The most interesting thing, I got kicked out as well. I'm not exactly sure why that happened, but hey, we know the Afro ban. That's all we can tell you for the time being, guys. Afro was banned. However, we can talk about it though, DM, right? With that Afro ban, I mean, in Europe we don't see it as much, and I feel that comes down to a lot of the European scene do not play very much Aphrodite. The only real sort of teams that ban it out are the ones that are the top level teams, such as TSM and I5, who have the very, very good Aphrodite in that advert. He's probably one of the only ones that you really get to see play him.
Well, last week, I mean, we saw a pretty decent amount of Aphrodite play. She's starting to make it through the pick ban phase. I mean, but she has a lot of strength. She has incredible healing. Her ultimate can be applied to up to 3 people at once. For those of you at home who don't know that, we're gonna let that, I think, secret finally go here. If you haven't noticed, if you use the ultimate, right? It applies to you, applies to your kiss, and will last even if you switch to another person. Now, if you apply a kiss after the ultimate has started, they will gain the rest of the duration of the ultimate as well. So you can actually have 3 people be completely invulnerable on your team with a good target switch. But it can be pretty difficult while doing it inside of team fights.
But it's not that easy to do. Although what that kiss does, that Undying Love, DM, it makes you immune, so you can use it while you're CC'd, which is one of the only things that can happen. On top of that, you've also going to have the immunity, which is one of those skills that is hard to counter because you're not going to take any damage for those few seconds while you are invulnerable, and still be able to deal damage back.
So Janice comes out as the second ban. I don't think this is too surprising, Hindu.
No, not surprising at all. Janus at the moment, Janus, as we like to call him, I will say at least once today. Janus is very, very strong and is seen quite a lot in competitive play now. People have started to realize that in competitive competition, he is ridiculous, DM.
Hindu man.
Yes.
Your entire pantheon is open right now.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. My pantheon is 3. Let's do this. Kumbhakana is available right now with the bans that have come out. And is
Rom.
Rom. Let's talk about Rom. Let's talk about Rom.
We need to talk about Rom. And you can see the struggle right now is T-Snipes has not locked in their god yet, proving that there's still a lot on the table. There's a lot to discuss here, and Rama is definitely one of those characters that needs to be discussed. I mean, he has not only one of the best boxing abilities in the game in Astral Barrage, or rather Astral Strike, but yeah, and there goes the lock of Rama very quick. But he also has incredible movement, a almost global ultimate with Astral Barrage, and a pretty unique passive.
The one big thing about Rama that you have to look at, apart from his ultimate, all his skills are auto attack focused.
Right.
So if you can't land those auto attacks in the team fights, he's not going to do as much damage. So when I look at Rom and I see how he's played, from my standpoint, I feel on an average player's level, he's going to come just below Artemis and Apollo. However, when we see these top pro teams start playing him, DM, I think he's going to outshine those quite considerably when the real people like Zapman pick him up. So that's when you might find out he does get nerfed or he doesn't get nerfed based off who plays him the most. Will the pros pick him up as much? I think they will.
Well, something that a lot of people aren't realizing is that the first ability, Astral Strike, actually increases the width of his auto attack
That's
range,
true.
which is incredible for boxing, especially considering that if you activate your 2, which of course increases the attack speed of his person and increases the chance of drop, sure. But activating the 2 will also cancel your movement penalty while attacking for, that short amount of time as well. So it gives him a little bit more movement. Now we're going to see picks of Kumbhakarna here, which I'm sure you're thrilled about, as well as Poseidon for the mid lane. Left side, going back to AMS, we're going to see Agni and Chalk picked up as well pretty early with the Chalk. Artemis will be grabbed as we go back into the ban phase.
Yeah, back into the ban phase once again as Artemis goes through. And now when you look at the table, what are we going to see coming out from Digisurge in terms of their bans? Well,
I got to take out Apollo. I'm sorry, they already have Rama. I keep forgetting he's available.
I mean, Ram being available is just going to throw so many people into the wind today of about what to ban and what to pick. Because if you don't ban Ram, he's going to get picked. If you do ban Ram, then you're going to leave something like Osiris, like Janus, or Kumbhakarna on the table. So it's very difficult. But good decision from Digisurge here. They've picked up Kumbhakarna and immediately banning away Geb. But that does still leave Athena on the table. And with her rise to power and glory that people are starting to realize, DM, I will not be surprised if she's not picked up. I will be surprised if she doesn't get picked here.
I'm still very surprised that we're not seeing more Herc support. Incredible focus in team fights, great moves in sort of driving strike and positional advantage given to him, of course, by Earthbreaker as well. And then there's Excavate, which is just giant AoE damage, great for knockbacks, which is going to be removed next week. But for now, it's still available. But it looks like they're going to take Ra off the table for the solo lane. Now, whether we're going to see Chalk go into the jungler or into the solo is yet to be determined. But we're going to head back over towards Digistorm and check what they're going to be picking for their second to last pick here with Fred Weed.
Thor in the jungle is still available. Mercury's on the table, so is Hunbats as well. So jungle is very varied and available to them right now. And when you talk about the jungle role as well, with this new God Sir Ket coming out as well, DM, that's going to be... doesn't she look good?
Have you seen the early videos? Have you played her yet? Where I've
seen the videos.
She's killing people in one hit. Oh, I love it.
I've seen the videos. And there we go, Digisurge.
This is my favorite right here. Hunbat's most underrated character in the game right now. I still think that he's easily top 5. I think he's the best jungler. I think he has more presence than Osiris. And he never falls off. That ultimate will always be a relevant attack. If Osiris gets behind, you just shut him down.
Now we're seeing from a Mighty Storm here, picking up Athena and Loki. So Loki probably gonna be a solo laner, but they do have a Chalk, so it could be Chalk jungle or solo as well. If they put Loki in the solo lane here, I would like to see Digisurge picking up someone like Hubwa, because Hubwa combines so well with Kumbhakarna, and in the laning phase against Loki, it's a very, very even matchup between those two. Loki has to play it very safe about the burst coming out. At the same time, Loki can win that matchup too, so it's how much trust you have in your solo laner. But having Hubwa, we know how strong he is, but hey, your man's being hovered over here. In
Hercules for what is going to be the solo lane, going up probably either against, of course, Chalk or Loki, meaning an early pickup like Mystical Mark or any type of physical defense is going to make him incredible. Hercules' base damage is out of control. Now, if he fights Chalk, he'll be able to sustain this in his lane, not really worry too much about ganks, especially with the use of Mitigate Wounds. If he goes up against Loki, he'll be able to deal with his damage and out-clear him, pushing him into the tower a lot. So I think this was a really smart pickup. Of course, I was aiming at the Chang'e, but...
Well, the one thing you can look at for Mighty Storm as well here, DM, the one thing you can look at is they've got the Athena-Loki combination on the table right now as well, which is one thing that you're starting to see more and more on streams as Athena's started to be realized at how strong she actually is. Take into account what Athena brings to the table, guys, is that when you get in a fight and you're losing and you're 1v1ing against a team that has an Athena, you have to think, can I burst this target down as well as through Athena's protections that she might put on this person at any time? Or do I run away before the nuclear warhead that is Athena that's going to then taunt me and then kill me is going to turn up on the scene?
You know, with that, I think I'd rather see Loki in the jungle here, specifically because it gives him better opportunities to use that Vanish Assassinate combo with Defender of Olympus for those stronger ganks. At the same time, over on the other side, they have that Hunbat's gank ability, which doesn't need an Athena attached to it. You get caught without your beads or without a greater Aegis, and you get hit by that ultimate. You will fear evil, and you will die.
I do like both these teams on paper. They both have strengths to them that we don't normally see overall. Like sometimes you look at how the picks and bans go, and you look at a team and go, they definitely have the better side. But on this one, There's pros and cons for each. Quite
Yeah, I
clearly.
mean, well, the Rama's super strong. The Athena Loki combo is great. Chalk as a front line. Agni swinging from the back. On the other side, you have Hercules peeling for Artemis and Poseidon. You mean you're forced to pick, am I going to try to kill the Poseidon or am I going to kill the Artemis? You can't let either one of them go. And then Kumbhakarna is still there for insane peels. And then they still have the Humbot. So I think neither team has the advantage here on paper. I think you're right.
I can't choose either because Kumba's on one side and Ram's on the other. I'm like, no, I'm torn. I'm torn between the two of them right now. So, guys, we're going to be going into this one. Mighty Størm versus Digisurge in this first round game of Week 10. We'll be right back after this.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the first game of the final qualifier in our Smite World Championship Series. We're going to be taking a look at a Mighty Størm, or now Surreal Gaming, versus up against Digistorm.
Oh, renamed to Surreal Gaming. I did not know that.
Yes, they got
DM.
sponsored, I think, in the last week.
That's brilliant news for them. I mean, for a team that comes out week in, week out and puts on a show for the people at home as well, and really tries the hardest, I'm really pleased to see that, you know, they're getting picked up. Oh, Kumbhakarna's going to get sleepy.
They don't see it.
He's so lucky. He's the luckiest Kumba in the world right now. He's just going to be like, I'm going on my merry adventures. And now, as he walks back, DM, they're going to be like, oh, no, he was there. What?
Oh, that is heartbreaking. And what's crazy is they're going to go back and watch this VOD, and they're going to immediately say, I can't believe we didn't check the left path.
Yeah, I mean, especially getting that passive off of Kumbhakarna early is very important, so you can't force the sleepy baits onto you, which can really come in handy. But early aggression from Mighty Størm, they're putting a lot of deep wards into territory here and moved as a full team, especially on the right-hand side as well. Even Chucks just can give vision of that
That's my
speed
favorite
buff area
ward.
at the start.
My favorite ward. It's the speed ward. I put it there pretty much every single game. I like to call it the Anatoly ward. Back way before the map got changed, Anatoly was the first player to really run up and drop those super deep wards in and then back and then come back into the base with, you know, the boots and the rest of the build, etc. So to see that still going strong shows, I think, a lot of ingenuity from Anatoly in the early stages of Smite, and I think which is what has helped him progress so far in the community.
So if we look at the start of this game, it is going to be the Loki jungle, as you suggested as well, DM, especially with the effect that he's going to be able to put that forward. And we're going to see Mr. Maki and Chuck in the solo lane, so that'll be Chuck facing off against Hercules.
So right there, Mr. Wiggles killed the red a little bit too quickly, and Maki didn't get that immediate level 2, but look how fast they were able to get into this lane.
That was quick.
I mean, usually you see the top side, the KS side, getting to lane much more quickly, and they were unable to this time.
Yeah, considering as well they took the mid camps as well with that, still managing to get all the way over in quick time and put the pressure on now from a Mighty Størm onto Digisurge on this side.
Absolutely beautiful start, though, from a Mighty Størm. I mean, they've really come out of the gate. Left side was pushed immediately. Right side lost no experience whatsoever, which is rather unusual. At least no gold. And we just saw a hand of the gods come out right there from Belto, which is curious to me, given we were at the 1 minute mark before the creep spawn. So that means to me that he didn't use it on the red buff, or, I mean, rather the blue buff or the speed buff.
It looks like he saved it to look for a quick level up and then look for an Earthbreaker combination. I think that's what he was looking for. It didn't pay off for him, though.
No.
For the most part, he's going to have to watch it. Earthbreaker misses on right again. Maki just juking that one out nicely.
So Digistorm recently has been entering a lot of competitive tournaments. Instinctivity and Bond James have been playing a lot together, and they've been doing pretty well, reaching either finals or semifinals in most of the amateur tournaments that I've been either watching or playing in. They've done a lot of growing, and they're going to have to really step their game up.
Left-hand side!
Yeah,
Kumba's
left side,
in trouble!
You can see it. It's already a lot of trouble. I mean, Kumba's super low. Sleepy is still available, sure, but T-Snipes is able to push this wave. One thing I'll note, though, here, Hindu, is that we do see Rama with the blue buff.
Yeah, I mean, Rama can use the blue buff for the cooldown reduction as well. I'll put that into account. And it does mean that in the early levels, he can spam his abilities a lot more. But however, you're generally going to be investing into your one ability, the Astral Strike, during the early stages, just to make sure you've got that extra damage for wave clear. 2 or 3 points in the Astral Strike, and you don't need to level it much more than that. You can start focusing on the pick-me-up to get the passive arrows back and get the increased attack speed.
Also, you should note that the cooldown reduction, I'm pretty sure, doesn't actually help the astral arrows come back.
I don't think it, actually, you're right. I don't
I think it's just a 15-second flat. So early on, giving that to Athena for harassment maybe would have been stronger. But we still see Stormproof sitting at full mana as well. Now we got a push here. We see a Loki rotation. We see a Vanish Instinctivity. Oh my god, Assassinate's already ready. Good yawn. Trying to get under the tower here. He's low and he's caught.
I was going to find one, but the sleepy bait is going to be available. This good decision from them to back out DM. They could have kept going and picked up Kumba, but he would have gone into the passive, and that could have cost him a life. So good decision to just back off from that and take what they got from it.
especially considering that once he got behind the tower, the auto attacks would have been blocked, which means they wouldn't even have that bait opportunity. And what a perfect pick there, because not only did they send Artemis back, not only did they pick up First Blood, but they shoved Kumba under that tower to ensure he couldn't rotate for the mid camps. That's a huge win.
Yeah, and talking about mid-camps now, left-hand side goes down and Son of the Law pokes down Humbats in the middle lane. Now the rotation comes in from Stormproof. Going to get a nice taunt off onto Poseidon, and that's a lot of burst damage coming after the vanish from Loki. Connects with that bleed, and now they're going to get right camps as well.
Yeah, that's going to be both mid camps. A lot of pressure. Solo lane farm for Rama right now, who you can see is getting very close to level 6 at this point. Having very little trouble clearing that wave, not even using mana in the process. A pretty big lead right here. Despite that they just got First Blood, they're still, they're up almost 1,200 gold at this point. That's huge.
One thing to note as well, look at Loki. He's level 6, and he just got both mid-camps, so he'll be hitting level 7 as we see it in mid lane, and Humbat's just hit level 6, so a whole level lead in the early stages for a jungler is big.
Hindu, look at the timer. We're about to see the respawns of Speed and Blue on the top side. And we have a 4-man rotation come out from AMS. They are ready for this. This is going to be a free push. That's going to hurt Humbots a ton. You can see he's level 6 right now, still behind. This is trouble. This is
real trouble. You're going to see the taunt come off and the Kraken as well, defensively used. It's going to make him survive for now. Going to have to back away as Mackie's going to look for the axe of the wall, but meanwhile, Mr. Wiggle's going to find Humbats, and now Hercules is surrounded by 3 members.
He's going to throw the boulder, do some damage, but he's silenced. Kumba rotates in, and we'll get a pretty good route there. But Athena's not done. Path of Flames plus a shot on Loki's going to be good, and now they turn their sights to Kumba, who will be able to escape. But that was a 3-man swing plus the buff, and they lost nobody for it.
Lost absolutely no one for you can see. Golden experience now 2k gold lead, 3,500 experience lead. And the combo kind of was just rotating way too late there overall, DM. He just couldn't get involved in that fight at all, and the 4-man grouping was fantastic from a Mighty Storm.
I really love the push here. The early rotation from Loki was just brilliant. You saw Wiggles rotate from right immediately over to left, taking what he could on the path. And when he got over there and got that First Blood, not only did that give his team a huge lead in goal, but it stopped Artemis from farming for a little while. And you see that reflected in the levels right now. Eerie King only level 6. We're seeing Mackie level 8, and that's wave to wave. That's a huge push for him, especially on a character who doesn't have trouble farming alone. I mean, he could sit here, even with Kumba in the lane, there really isn't much they could do to try to stop him at this point.
Yeah, Snipes can, realistically, as you play Rom, you can sit under your tower, and with your Astral Quiver, it will recharge just enough, so you'll get 2 or 3 available to you, and then clearly just wipe the wave out while it's under your tower, and get pretty much every single one, as we see Mr. Wiggles picking up a kill on Poseidon in mid lane, who drops the Kraken, but not going to save his life at all. Hardly any damage comes off that.
You know, this is the power of Loki. You know, if he gets behind or has a little bit of trouble farming, he winds up being close to negligible for almost the entire game. But if he gets an early start and he gets ahead, currently he's top farm by 500 gold, and that's just on his team. He's almost 1,000 gold ahead of anyone in the other team. If you ever get Loki to be that big, there's nothing you can do.
Left side's balls pop, but to the skies he goes. At the moment, does Ram. He's going to look for the damage. Misses 2 shots in a row, and the third one he chooses to go on minions.
Oh, man. This is absolutely beautiful. You can see the mid camps have respawned. Left side has already been picked up. You can see it's already down. Right side about to come up. Hercules is here, but they're going to have a chance to contest this.
Well, they're going to try and contest it to Stormproof, who just charges away immediately. And now right side spawn, but look at this. Chuck's getting some free farm on the tower right now, DM. He's going to be able to put some pressure on as they try to group mid and put some pressure and get some control back on this map to Digisurge. Right, mid camps are available at the moment, and you can see Loki rotating around the left. This could be a gank onto Artemis at the same time as he's going to give up mid camps for it.
Oh, there goes the assassinate. Some more damage coming out. Oh my god, I expected it to be a little bit more difficult than that. Free kill, 6-0 right now, and it looks like they got the camp as well. And all the while, you can see Mackie just unconcerned with Hercules. Throws the Thunderstrike behind him, dashes through, actually teleports through that driving strike, which was incredible. Stormproof taking some damage here as he walks into the tower, but the tower's almost dead at this point, which gives them a lot more push potential.
Yeah, I mean, Hercules has given up quite a lot there overall from trying to rotate to mid. All he got from that DM was mid camps. That was it. And in doing so, he lost a whole wave of experience at least. And near enough, the whole of his tower has been chunked down now. He's on the barest amounts of HP left on his tower that's going to have to try and defend.
So now, we're looking at the board here. Wiggles is massive, 4,900.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Mackie in the solo lane is massive, almost 4,600. And then we look at T-Snipes on a character whom a lot of people think is top, but we're looking more at the solo lane right now as Hercules getting sent under tower, and he doesn't have meditation.
He doesn't have meditation at all, and one thing to note about that, one big thing about that play, DM, Mr. Mackey used creeping curse there, and that just delayed Hercules, and he wasn't aware of it until it was too late, and then Loki just comes in and cleans up the kill.
Imagine if he had just a little bit more mana. Yeah?
No.
Driving strike away? Huh?
No.
Huh?
I've seen your meditation plays. You don't even use it. You just buy it for show. You don't even use that. Don't even bring that up.
Left side, more pressures. We're seeing Airy King getting sent under the tower. The boar is going to be used and wasted, and T-Snipes is sitting pretty on most of his mana bar, which he barely even uses.
Loki!
And his health. Oh my god, this character is out of control right now.
Mr. Wiggles chases down Poseidon in his own jungle, takes the kill, and right-hand side pressure still on again as Chuck just continues to stop beating down on tier 2 now, keeping the pressure on. And Kubakana could be in trouble as well.
Yeah, they're all looking to sandwich him. Now, we haven't really seen much from Instinctivity. Oh, that's a lot of damage. He will be put into Sleepy here as we see a drop. Mr. Wiggles will be able to escape, and that's going to be a free push. You know, it's one thing to note, the tower actually doesn't switch. Oh, wait, Boulder!
Oh, yes!
First
Nice
kill
Boulder.
of the game for Digistorm. Actually going to find it onto Wiggles. The top farm at 6-1 will shut down a major kill streak, so that's going to be worth 500 gold. I'm
It was
sure
a nice.
He's reveling in that one.
Yeah, it was a very nice kill from there. But one thing to know about what Kubakana did there, he used his ulti on the target that had tower aggro, and in doing so, he lost tower aggro.
Yeah.
When he came back down again, he didn't have the tower aggro anymore. It switched to minions and allowed them to just push on and kill him while in passive. Solo kill left side for Rom. First one for him on the board. Sorry, second one for him on the board, but it's the first solo one he's picked up.
And check out T-Snipes' presence of mind here. He notices that, actually, he's not going to go for the blue buff. The blue buff just respawned. They're immediately going to rush down for this Gold Fury. Now, Stormproof already super low right here. As you see, Instinctivity move forward. He does have a level 3 Hand of the Gods. He's got to get in there, but it's way too late. They're going to turn this at least into a 3v3. This could be actually a lot of trouble right now for Digi.
Goes up, look for the snipes, finds 2, finds the 3rd. The damage was insane, and the tick-tock from Son of the Lord Agni pays off, and Athena jumps in with the Olympus, going to find the taunt, or is she? Nope, defensive Inferno Evil, and the epic uppercut used. That's going to be a disengage, but Mighty Storm win big.
Yeah, that's a kill. That's the Gold Fury. They're taking the blue buff, as I thought they were going to do to begin with. And T-Snipes, who, like he said, doesn't need mana, actually drained his mana bar, but now gets to use his Astral Strike just to clean his arrows back up. He'll get his mana back up for his push, and he's going to do some huge tower. I think, actually, this might go down here.
I don't know how much they're going to be able to defend this. Only ball might be available here. Pick up a cut on cooldown as well. Taunt lands onto it. Beads are used by Artemis. And all you can see from Athena is she's zoning so they can take the tower and then fight. No fear, no evil on life for Humbats here. This could be a mistake for trying to engage.
It looks like they're going to smartly back off if they continue that aggression. I don't think it's going to go too well for them. We're at the 11-minute mark at this point, and they're down 7,000 gold on Digistorm, which means they have to look for objectives. This has to be a very sneaky Fire Giant. This has to be a sneaky Tier 2 take, but with the defense coming out so strongly from a Mighty Storm on top of their what seems to be unstoppable offense, I just don't see how Digi's going to be able to take this without grouping up, getting a huge pick, and stealing an objective.
I mean, they do have the chance of that, though, DM. They do have Hunbat's Fear No Evil. They do have the Kraken from Poseidon and the epic uppercut combination from Kubakana. If they can set all that up for one major team fight where they get a pick or two, they could possibly still turn this around. But it's a difficult job.
So now, we're going towards the 12-minute mark. The camp's up on the right side. Solo farm over in the right lane. Rama's completely uncontested, and Athena still has her global ult available, meaning they have great defensive pressure right now. I mean, not only could they dive towers with that mitigation and damage, but they could also rotate immediately to save a team. And given the fact that Stormproof right now might be the lowest level in the game, he still has a significant more gold than anybody on Digistorm right now. 300 ahead of their top farm, almost 1,000 ahead of the bottom.
005 online for Stormproof right now. Looking for that 7 for the Bond as we see an engage in mid lane as Agni makes it rain. I can't wait for that Swagni skin because they'll be saying it over and over again. Make it rain.
Yeah, I mean, I can't get over that Apollo skin. I'm ready.
Oh,
I'm ready to throw down the gratata.
Gratata, indeed. I can't really do it. I'm very British. Gratata! And there's the boulder coming out from Hercules. There's the damage coming out from Loki is insane. The bleed destroyed Bond, James Bond. He needs the Apollo skin, that's for sure. It might make him survive more if he can get on a helicopter right about now. As they're going to pressure on middle lane and look for the rotations left as Artemis is trying to defend that left-hand side tower.
You're actually seeing a rotation from the mid as well. Instinctivity trying to keep some space here, but Hercules is out of mana again. Imagine if he had meditation.
Imagine if he had meditation. I don't think it would save the day in this one, that's for sure. It's not going to be his Lord and Savior, I'll tell you that much. Especially as this one's going on.
Ooh, this could be trouble. Wiggles actually goes onto the tower. Vanish plus assassinate damage. The vanish damage is huge and actually picks up another victim right there. 13-1 right now as Surreal Gaming or a Mighty Størm is able to further their lead.
Mighty Størm have come out today and just been like, you know what, we're gonna show how good we really are. They showed early on in this game, guys, how they know the jungle timers and knew to go aggressive in the jungle. And it was from that moment, really, DM, when they stole that speed buff, that the game just totally collapsed for Digisurge.
That's true. I mean, the Loki has just been such a huge factor here. Now, T-Snipes and Stormproof have taken a lot of damage trying to get that instinctivity down, but the Sleepy has been used and baited out. So, I mean, the bait was almost successful, but they're not paying attention to the backside. They're chasing too many kills, and now Mackey's getting in there for free. You see the Creeping Curse go out. Kraken's going to do some damage, but it doesn't look like enough. T-Snipes not even fearful, actually going to stay in.
And then you're going to see the turnaround as you see Loki turning up with the bleed damage. Make it rain, not even needed. Swagny's like, no, I'm not interested right now. Gonna zone out Hombats, and all Hercules can do without meditation is pray that the Lord and Savior one day will be on his side.
Left lane, they're going to continue their pressure as a full mana, finally, Hercules will attempt to try to keep them back. Boulder's going to be used, and a perfect bounce will clear the wave entirely, plus get some damage off. But he actually might defend this. No, Wiggles is too big. He's too strong.
And so is Stormproof. Stormproof tanked up that whole tower. Like, okay, no worries, I've got no minions. I'll just tank it for my boys. It's okay. Chuck gets out nicely over the wall using his axe. So he's going to be fine for now. And that's 17-1 now. Golden experience, 10,000 gold, 17,000 experience at 15 minutes in the game. That's a lot of different numbers, but it all means Mighty Størm are winning.
This is a lot of trouble here. I mean, Digistorm really doesn't have a leg to stand on at this point, and given where Instinctivity is being pushed to, this Gold Fury is going to be uncontested. Yeah,
it's going to be uncontested completely. Ram's just going to start soloing that on his own. I mean, most hunters at this stage of the game at level 15 could do it anyway, but Ram's going to be fine. Going to be able to just keep picking up arrows and keep putting that extra damage on that thing over and over again. And with the rest of his team keeping the pressure on the map, DM, he's got no threat.
That's right, and considering the fact that he uses very little mana, he'll be able to continue his pressure after this. And check him out, picking up those astral arrows as well, making sure he's going to have the opportunity to join his fight at full stacks. But he's actually going to back off towards the left side and pick up the blue buff here as we see continued pressure from... Actually, no, Wiggles is at least baiting the back, as Son of the Law is actually facing down 5 people alone.
Yeah, he is. Right-hand side, you're going to see Chalk take away the blue buff once again, just in 9 more jungle experience right now. And it feels Mighty Størm are just waiting for the final siege here, DM. They're looking for one more fight that just breaks the back of Digisurge. If it's not broken already, they just want to make sure they're going to be in paralysis for a long time to come.
So now, 16 minutes into the game. They have no pressure in the solo lane. All 5 people are now grouped up in the left lane here, facing down just a few members of a Mighty Størm. Just to try to push them out. You can see Mackey's rotating is going to find himself a really good opportunity for a kill here. Is he going to use... Nope, he's going to get hit by the Kraken, but he barely takes any damage and then just teleports right away.
They use the uppercut on him. He's going to use the ultimate in response. That's a silence. He turns the kill around 4v1. And now can he escape? Because Athena's going to try and help out. But now Stormproof's got out. But Make It Rain does a lot of damage and stuns up 3 targets. Ball's going to slow them down in the most part. But it was a 1-for-1. And now you're going to see the rest of the team back out. Stormproof's going to be careful. But look at left-hand side as it's going on. And you see Mr. Wiggles cleaning up. Double!
I didn't like that driving strike from Hercules. We're going to see a triple kill come out pretty simply as T-Snipe solos down that left Phoenix. They're going to turn their sights to the mid lane as we see Stormproof doing what he can to just tank this thing up. T-Snipes rotates in. Wiggles actually trading this back to Stormproof, which is smart. Now, Stormproof actually backed off and traded away the damage to ensure that it would reset. Of course, that does have stacking damage the more it hits you before the reset. Wiggles gives it back to ensure they can continue the pressure. Fred Weed here has nothing to do. That aim strike's going to clean it up front to back. No issue whatsoever. And his second Phoenix is going to be contested and likely will be destroyed.
Raise your wiggle, wiggle, wiggles for Mr. Wiggles in chat on this, Loki. He's had a fantastic game from the outset, DM. One of the only members of his team to die. However, he might die again with that epic uppercut going to land. No, he's not. Yes, he is. Driving strike connects. And Hercules holds onto the base for now, but the damage from the Make It Rain and the stun is huge.
These snipes going to do a lot of damage inside of the law, can finish up the Hercules with a pretty clean flame wave. Left side, we're going to see Mackie picking up this speed buff as they're probably going to turn their sights to the Fire Giant. With these fire minions burning down 2 lanes, it's going to be hard for them to continue that Space Invaders-esque defense and keep up appearances at the Fire Giant, at least enough to go for the steal. At this point, if Instinctivity at level 11 goes in against this level 19 Loki, he's going to die a lot faster than even some of the squishier characters on the team.
So all those archer minions on the right-hand side, you're going to see Rom with them. He's going to bring this tower down very quickly. They don't even need Fire Giant in this stage of the game, DM. They could take it, but they don't have to. Look at the damage that Rom's able to put out onto Kumbhakarna. Those astral arrows going to continue the chase. He pops the sprint as well, and instinctively he's just trying to get away, but with Athena there as well. Nice Yarn going to stop the taunt coming out and get back to safety, but 2 Phoenixes down. This is really bad trouble for Digisurge.
Right there, T-Snipes actually used his dodge roll, which it makes his next attack a cripple, but didn't have an astral arrow in the quiver to ensure that it would go off, so you didn't see the cripple come out. It looks like Instinctivity was able to escape. More push into the middle lane here. Stormproof gets CC'd, but not enough to really deter them. You see Mackie looking for an opportunity, throws the Thunderstrike in a rather awkward position. It was easily dodged. Driving Strike's going to be baited here, going to be forced into the Fear No Evil as Hunbots jumps into the fountain to heal up. They're actually pressuring the Titan here, despite the fact that there is still 1 Phoenix remaining. And of course, the Fire Giant, T-Snipes, not available as well, as you saw him back and go towards the now right side of the map after shopping a little bit. It's going to be up to Fred Weed to try to keep this one out.
Yeah, it's going to be a big ask for him to do as well. I mean, T-Snipes isn't even here right now, but you look at the level disparity between the 2 teams. And even if everybody in the team is level 20 to 18, as you can see the aggression from Stormproof, the Yawn's going to try and deny a little bit of pressure. Stormproof gets a nice taunt off onto Bon James, and the Make It Rain's going to do a lot of damage from Agony and force them back to base once more. This final Phoenix is going to drop, and we can be sure to be seeing Mighty Storm moving on now.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much they can do to try to combat 3 Phoenixes down, on top of the fact that they don't even have the Fire Giant. They felt that they don't even need it diving in. Stormproof actually manages to dodge the Driving Strike as some damage comes out, but he's going to go down side of the law very low as well. Will get picked off as well. Wiggles needs to make something happen here. He is the carry, as we see Hand of the Gods come out to ensure that he gets stunned out. We're going to see more damage coming through, but not enough to pick up the Titan just yet.
Going up.
Yeah, he's going to go up, and if he comes down, he might live.
Oh, that damage from the Astral Barrage does connect 3 times, 2 on the same target, and you're going to see Poseidon go down. And look at him still duking out, using that Rolling Assault to survive, and the damage onto Belto is too much. Thanks to the help of Mr. Mackie, it's a 3v2 now, as all the fire minions with those archers are just slamming away into the Titan. This is Mighty Storm moving on, or is it?
It could be. I mean, Artemis and Kumbhakarna, not 2 characters known for their lane clear, were not able to deal with all of those fire minions burning down that base. Not to mention Wiggles' top farm still there, level 20, only level 20 in the game at almost 12,000 gold with 14 kills. Hinduman was able to finalize that win at 20 minutes and 39 seconds. We're going to see a huge disparity in actually 16,500 gold in favor of a Mighty Storm. Crazy.
A Mighty Storm just came out of the gates this game and just looked amazing. Like, it all started from that speed buff invade straight after the level 1. When the speed buff respawned, DM, they were all there grouped up as a 4-man unit. They only left on Rom in the duo lane, and everybody else was there. They fought that fight, they won, they picked up some kills, and just snowballed it from there.
So with that, we're going to be going into round 2, where non-pockety OP, which I assume is Nantan, Takati, etc.,
so.
people from Critosaurus, are going to be versing the ragtag group of Fat Chunk Assemble, formerly the team that housed Kiki Star, or now Kiki the Chunk, who we find as the solo laner on Snipe. So we should have a pretty decent round 2 game ahead of us.
We should. So guys, we'll be right back with that one. As soon as the guys are in, we'll be right back.